In this video, I will go over how to find the area of a regular polygon. So, area of a regular polygon is given by this equation. Area equals A times P divided by 2, where A is your apothem and P is your perimeter. Apothem, that's a new word. Apothem is that line that goes from the center of your shape down to the midpoint of one side. So this right here is my apothem. So look at this setup. Let's take a look at my area. So we already know what A is. My apothem equals 8.66. We need to find perimeter. Perimeter, because it is a regular polygon, we know that this side, and these other sides are all congruent. So let me make a note. Regular polygon means all sides are congruent. So that means 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, and 10. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sides for a hexagon. So my perimeter is 6 times 10, which gives me 60. So now we can use our formula right here. We have our apothem equals, area equals my apothem, 8.66, times my perimeter, 60, and divided by 2. So here we go. 8.66 times 60 divided by 2. My area is 259.8. Alright. So real briefly, without going into detail, area of a regular polygon is made up by looking at the areas of triangles. So I'll connect this right here. There's one triangle, so I can cut this into the 6 triangles. So this comes from area of a triangle. That's why we have this divided by 2 part. That comes from 1/2 base times height of a triangle. Alright. Over here, this time I have a different example. Over here, what we have is a hexagon. A regular hexagon with apothem equals 7 square root 3. So, for a regular hexagon, there is a shortcut. So we know A is 7 square root 3. That's given. But what about perimeter? So to find perimeter, we can do this. Okay. Going back to my picture up here, my hexagon is divided into 6 triangles. Over here in the middle, we have 360 degrees if I go all the way around. So what I can do is 360 divided by the 6 triangles to let me know that each angle right here, that's a 60-degree angle. Because we are cutting this in half, we know that's half because we have a midpoint here and the right angle there. This ends up being half of 60, a 30-degree angle, which tells you this is a 30, 60, 90 triangle. So let me illustrate a 30, 60, 90 triangle over here to the side. In a 30, 60, 90 triangle, so 30, 60, 90 triangle, there's 90, that's 60, That's 30. The pattern goes that, and that. So we're going from long leg to short leg. To go from long leg to short leg, notice x square root 3 turned into x. So to go from long leg to short leg, we divide by square root 3. In other words, the square root 3 disappears. And that's a shortcut, a pattern for a hexagon, which tells you 7 square root 3 means this side right here is 7, for this reason right here. Alright? So this side 7, which means my entire hexagon side, 7 times 2, 14. So now we can find perimeter. Perimeter equals 14 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 congruent sides. 14 times 6 is 84. And now we can use my equation. Area equals my apothem, 7 square root 3, times perimeter divided by 2. So parentheses 7 square root 3, my apothem 84 divided by 2. $509.2. So I kind of made a small mistake earlier, and I want to point that out. When you do 7 square root 3 parentheses, you want to make sure your parentheses here goes outside the square root. So that's still inside the square root. You're going to have to arrow over to go outside the square root. So be careful of that. Alright, there's my area. One final example. This time we have a square with an apothem of 7. Square with apothem equals 7. So a square is another special case. If you think back to your square properties, if I were to draw out this diagonal, one of our properties for a square is the diagonal. Diagonal bisects your angle, which means in a square, this right here is 90 degrees. Bisected means this is 45. Over here is 90. Apothem makes a right angle, which means down here is also 45. So this is a 45, 45, 90 triangle. In a 45, 45, 90, we have this pattern. That this side of the right angle and this side with the right angle, these two sides are congruent. So which means if the apothem is 7, then down here is also 7. Which ultimately makes this whole side 14. So now we can calculate using my area formula. Perimeter equals 4 sides times 14. 56. So my area equals apothem 7 times perimeter divided by 2. 56 divided by 2. Of course, some of you would probably have noticed this is a square. Another formula for square, specifically, area equals base times height. So yes, you could have done 14 times 14. 14 times 14, which gives you the same answer. But just be aware, area for regular polygons, a square is a regular polygon. So the area for a regular polygon gives me that same answer. Alright. So there you have examples of calculating area of a regular polygon using apothem times perimeter divided by 2.